All right, what's up, YouTube members? Hey, this week we're going to talk about a concept that I've actually kind of corresponded with a couple of you about, and we're going to talk about like using notes that are lower than the root note in your bass lines, and like how to navigate that and make that sound good. And specifically this week we're going to talk about dropping a sixth from the root note. So what I mean by that is, like, we're going to use D as our root note today. I'm going to use the same backing track I used in the other video this week. But if D is our root note, right, it could be, if it's a D minor chord, we have the third right there, right? That's F. Or the major third, if it were like a funk chord or a major chord, we could have the major third as well, which is there, which is F sharp. That is a third above the root note, right? If we take that third above the root note and we drop it down an octave, we now have to drop an interval of a sixth from the root note. So either down to F or down to F sharp, depending on if it's a minor or a major chord. And in the example that we're using today, since it's a funk chord, you can actually do both. And that's why I'm calling it dropping down, dropping a sixth, obviously, you know. Real fancy. But this can be a really, really powerful little kind of move to do in your bass lines. But there's two things I want you to remember about it, okay? The first thing is, when you drop a sixth from the root note, because it's going to sound so hefty on the chord, you don't want to overstay its welcome, okay? You want to kind of get off that note pretty quick. So let me show you real quick with the backing track, what I mean by that specifically. Here we go. So D root note, right? This is what happens if I linger on it. It just sounds a little too much. It sounds a little too heavy. Now check it out when I kind of get off of it and go in an upward direction. After I drop to it, I'm going to move up, which is kind of the move. Sounds better, right? Okay, now the second thing I want you to remember about using this technique is, and this kind of like dawned on me this week when I was thinking about like how bass lines, when you drop a sixth like this, like how bass lines work. It sounds really good if you kind of syncopate that. Once you drop the sixth, if you kind of make some syncopation in your rhythm, that is like playing kind of funky and on the offbeats, it tends to sound really good. Check out the difference. If I kind of like drop to it and then make it sound like square sounding, it's check it. It's okay? But if I kind of syncopate it, after I drop down to it, if I kind of get funky with it, right? Hear the difference? There's a difference there, right? So that's the second thing, is like kind of get syncopated with it. After you drop the sixth, use some syncopation. Check it out. So like, yeah, like I can play the root note like kind of square when I start it. 3, 4. Like that. But once I drop the sixth, I'm going to want to get a little funky with it. 3. So you get the idea. All right, so yeah, that move is really strong sounding. And it gives you an option for when your root note is like on the A string. You know what I mean? And you don't have that option of playing the root note down at the bottom where it's really fat sounding. You can kind of drop that sixth and it'll put some fatness in your bass line. You know, if you use it in kind of the right way. So, all right, hope that was a good nugget for this week. Take care. See you next time.